In a quiet town, the police officer Roger had his husky, Angus, as a companion in the mornings. But something intriguing was happening. Whenever they passed by an abandoned house, Angus became restless, barking and wanting to desperately get closer. Roger tried to calm him down, but the dog's determination only grew each day. This sparked the curiosity of the officer, who found himself obsessed with the mystery of this house. If you're new to our channel Unbelievable Lives, make sure to subscribe and leave your like. Despite attempts to stay away from the place, the need to unravel that enigma grew. Roger searched the internet, asked the older residents, and heard stories about the family that lived there before the place was abandoned. There were rumors of a tragic fire and strange events in the house, but the skeptical policeman sought a logical explanation for his husky's behavior. Talking to the elders in the area, he heard reports of strange sounds at night and supposed rituals performed by the family before the fire. The stories intertwined, leaving Roger with more questions than answers. The abandoned house was an enigma full of secrets and mysteries that challenged the policeman's logical understanding. By day's end, Roger had no concrete answers but a certainty that the house held deep secrets he was determined to uncover. The mysterious aura of that abandoned residence concealed much more than met the eye, and the policeman was determined to unravel every hidden secret behind the decaying facade. The night was dark and dense, covered by heavy clouds obscuring the moon. Roger, exhausted after an intense day, decided to take a nighttime walk with his faithful companion, Angus, the husky. It was a deviation from his usual routine as an early call prevented his morning walk. The quietness of the streets, with houses slumbering, was occasionally interrupted by distant sounds of nature. As always, Angus became agitated when they passed by the abandoned house, barking urgently, his eyes fixed on the eerie building. Roger, giving in to curiosity and concern for the dog's behavior, decided to explore the grounds. Before entering, for a brief moment, he contemplated the deteriorated facade, the broken windows resembling empty eyes, the vegetation entwined on the walls, giving the house a forgotten and eerie look. In the moment he got distracted by that glimpse, Angus's leash slipped from his hand, and the husky ran toward the house, disappearing into the darkness. Roger saw the gate creaking as he pushed it open, a heavy sense of apprehension enveloping him as he entered the premises. He felt watched, as if he wasn't alone in that sinister place. With a flashlight in hand, he noticed recent footprints in the dust, without a clear pattern, and a modern, dirty rag doll, abandoned on the floor. Observing the shifted curtains and the sense that something had been disturbed recently, his unease intensified. Advancing through the house, hoping to hear Angus's reassuring bark, silence was his only response. Only the beam of the flashlight revealed the decay of the place, partially burnt furniture, reminders of a past fire. A sense of danger hung in the air. Amidst the oppressive darkness, a subtle sound broke the silence, the soft cry of a baby. It was almost inaudible but echoed through the empty corridors of the haunted house. Roger, gripped by fear and bewilderment, hesitated before following the sound, his mind trying to rationalize the inexplicable. At the top of the stairs, Roger looked down the narrow and dark hallway before him. Each step creaked, bringing forth dark stains from the old fire damage. The cry, more audible now, echoed down the corridor, disturbing his thoughts. It was becoming hard to maintain mental clarity in that charged atmosphere. As he entered the corridor, he found closed doors and the sound of crying coming from a slightly ajar door, allowing a faint light. Roger moved forward, encountering a terrifying scene. A woman with a frightened expression, disheveled hair, holding a newborn baby, alongside Angus. The young woman's eyes met his, and she pleaded not to be harmed, holding her child desperately. Roger lowered his weapon, trying to calm her, and gently asked who she was and why she was there. Her name was Amanda, and she was clearly distraught, tears streaming down her face. Roger, compassionate, offered his coat to keep her warm. Amidst sobs, she explained she was fleeing from a violent and possessive husband, afraid of what he might do, especially to the baby. Roger, his police instinct alert, promised to take care of her and the child while contacting reinforcements through the radio. He tried to reassure Amanda, promising to protect her, while she expressed constant fear of being found by her husband. Roger stood by her side, trying to offer comfort and security while waiting for help to arrive. The policeman's determination to protect Amanda and the baby was evident as he promised to ensure they found a safe place to start anew, away from the horror she was facing. However, in a tense whisper, Amanda confessed her greatest fear while Roger gently held her hand to convey reassurance. The policeman assured her that under his protection, nothing would happen to them, committing to ensuring her and the child's safety. When news of Amanda's violent husband's arrest spread through the town, everything changed. What was feared as an abandoned house now transformed into something powerful and potentially transformative. Roger and his team diligently began the arrest process based on crucial information provided by Amanda. Her testimony, coupled with evidence of her desperate escape and signs of abuse, ensured a swift conviction of her husband. Freed from the nightmare, Amanda regained her home and could raise her child in safety. With the case resolved, Roger looked at that old abandoned house with a new purpose. With the support of the city council and engaged community members, Roger began the process of renovating the house. What was once dark and threatening began to come to life. The interior was restructured to house and support women and children in need of a safe refuge, following the example of how Amanda had been sheltered in the past. The day of the inauguration of Hope House was momentous for the town. Roger and Amanda, now the center's coordinator, cut the red ribbon amid warm applause from the crowd. In his speech, Roger emphasized the importance of seeing beyond appearances, transforming tragedies into opportunities for growth and hope. Hope House became a sanctuary, offering emotional support, educational and professional programs, and was always filled with laughter, conversations, and plans for a better future. The policeman and his loyal companion, Angus, led this transformation, leaving a legacy of compassion and service to the community. The story of the abandoned house, once haunted by fear and mystery, now symbolized hope, love, and transformation. An act of kindness triggered a wave of positive change, showing how a place of pain and suffering turned into a beacon of hope for those in need. And so, as you watch the next video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel Unbelievable Lives, leave your like, and turn on the notification bell to not miss our next exciting stories. A big hug, and until the next episode,